Broadcasting.
Broadcasting. Sunday, US 30 drag strip.
Yeah. Be there. Well, I guess that's more monster truck presenter than radio DJ.
Welcome to Drake and the Maestro.
Cooperate voluntarily. If you do, I give you my word that you will not be harmed or your mind's changed in any way.
My mind is my own and nobody's going to change it.
Go, girl.
I'm not going.
Nobody is. Come on.
We're going to find out. So you went to Habib in the box?
I went to Yak in the Box.
Uh-huh.
And food was good. Food was correct. The drink machine was out of, did you want soda? That's too bad. It's basically the selection of the drink
I just
machine.
want to be clear that this is a Maestro story. It's not a Drake food story. So
that's right. This is a Maestro. There's nothing really. The only thing is every Jack in the Box I've ever been to, all the employees look like they're dead inside. It seems to be that is a hiring criteria for Jack in the Box. Oh, because I've been to other restaurants.
Yeah, have you seen the manager?
No, I couldn't tell you which one was the manager because they were all equally just like, I'm working.
Dark circles under his eyes. Looks like he's been watching YouTube for the last 5 days straight.
But that was all the employees. They all just had a melancholy about them. And I've been to McDonald's where I've seen that a few people, one of the people's usually like a little down or something. But it's singularly Jack in the Box that seems to be that all the employees are like that.
Just be ready to run if you start hearing brains.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't. They're not even zombies. They look like, I work at the Jack in the Box and I'm not happy about it. But it's a job.
So it's the opposite of Good Burger.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do not want to take your order and they are not interested in you being there.
Well, it's Jack in the Box.
Which
you got to crank the crank till someone pops up and takes your order.
Right. Well, when their menu is 12,000 things, it's like, hey, they're like the Cheesecake Factory of the fast food world. It's like, what do you want? We got it all.
We call that death by SKUs.
Yeah. Cheesecake Factory. You get like an encyclopedia, and that's their menu.
Yeah, but
here's your menu.
It's one basic cheesecake, and they just put other toppings on it for you.
No, that's like the whole restaurant. They got like a whole.
I get it.
It's the way the waiter flumps the menu down and goes, "All right, I'll be back in 1 to 2 business days once you've decided what you want."
Phone book. Oh, by the way, here's your mortgage application to go with it.
Right. It's actually it's thinner. The mortgage application is thinner than the menu.
It's much thinner. Yeah.
Yeah, the Cheesecake Factory is just insane. But that was it. I mean, that was my Jack in the Box. I'm starting to notice that every Jack in the Box I've ever been to, all the employees look like they hate their lives.
standing still, and they're just like floating around in there like they're on a slot, just mindlessly on a track.
Or like their texture packages haven't loaded in a video game. They're just T-posing everywhere, just kind of sliding around.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like whatever that is. But yeah, it's like that.
The kids will get it. It's for the kids.
For the kids. Yeah, I figured it was.
With the knife wrench,
Yeah.
It's for kids.
Yeah. For kids. With a flamethrower, too.
The kids love this one.
Yeah.
Spaceballs the flamethrower.
The kiddies love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a follow-up on my medical visits.
Oh, yeah. With Igor giving you the gills.
Right. His name was Yuri, so
even better.
Remember I was saying that whenever you have an appointment to get to somewhere, that you're always going to be behind the slow traffic.
The slowest people ever, yeah.
And weird things happen to delay you. Well, I had one more. I had to go out and get some testing done at the hospital, and as it would, whatever operant of the universe controls this thing, they doubled down on me because remember before it was Robo Senior and then some inconsistent HHR, right? And then this time was a hopper bottom grain truck.
Was it a prime truck? Because they've started doing that now, and it's in that area.
It was a local. It was somebody local.
Oh,
it's a farmer.
Usually those guys are like insane. They're pedal to the metal, trying to set the new land speed record on US 24.
All over your windshield, with the grain.
Right.
No. This was
long nose Pete or Kenworth just
Or an anteater.
Strung out.
It was an anteater. Yeah. No, this was the opposite of that. This was, where were those higher gears located again?
The transmission's high range broke. They're just doing what they can.
Yeah, you just, making do whatever it was. Okay?
Whatever it is.
So I'm like, you know what? I planned for this. No big deal. No problem. I'm just going to sit here,
chill out behind him.
It's all twisty. Yeah, it's all twisty, turny country, Indiana country roads where there's no shoulder.
Right.
You know what? Yeah. You pull out the past that, you are committing suicide. And that's that.
Yeah, you might meet his cousin coming at you the other direction.
Right. So I'm all packing. We get to the blinky light because
blinky light. The one in the county.
The one county, until you get in towards the hospital, then they actually have stop and go lights. But I get the blinky light, and I'm gonna turn and go to the hospital. And
you remember the back way this time?
Well, different hospital. How about that?
Oh, different hospital. Well, interesting.
Yeah, going the opposite direction.
Yuri's moving around on you.
That's right. Well, so the grain truck turns. Hopefully he'll keep going towards the elevator. No. He's going my direction.
No.
Okay.
Of course.
That's fine. Of course. You know what? I expect it. And then
I planned for this.
I pull up. It's my turn to turn. But before my turn to turn, the oncoming traffic has the option of turning. Right, and I have to yield to that.
Correct.
If we go in right? Order of arrival. Yes. And guess what it is? It's a matching. It's that grain truck's cousin, or brother, or whatever. And he pulls out ahead and follows the first one.
Oh, good.
And then it's my turn, and I realize, we're not getting any faster, even though we're on the wider 2-lane with a shoulder road. No. But that's okay because I planned for this. And sure enough, it was, if we were going 40, that would have been surprising. 2 grain trucks all the way.
Jeez.
And that was that.
Man, you got Farmer Freded real hard there.
I did.
Boy.
Different. And I made it to the hospital just fine. Got my tests. Grain trucks pulled off when they got to the main road, which was great. But we're basically all the way there. But it was just proof that
a little too late.
Yeah, it's just, and they're going to the big ethanol plant. It looked like.
Yeah.
So it's just proof that whenever you got an appointment,
no matter what, you're going to be behind something.
Yeah, unless you plan for it, you're not getting there. It's just not going to happen. You'll be late. You'll be, there'll be. An old friend came from out of town. My tux didn't come back from the cleaners. It wasn't my fault. Yeah, it'd be like it's like that.
It's like that.
Which reminds me of the coffee incident at the other hospital. So
yes, the coffee robot.
I'm going to get my gill transplant, and
right.
It
takes
on the way
now.
out.
Gills come next week.
Yeah, because I'm on the way into the inner sanctum. I go by the sign hanging in the front lobby for Starbucks. So, I'm not usually a Starbucks customer, but they do have good, if you like overpriced coffee, it's pretty good.
It's all right.
And I'm really in the mood since I can't trust anything going on at the Arches for decaf.
No.
And they cost almost as much now.
Yeah.
It's this gourmet. No, it's not. You can't even make it right. Get out of town. So,
it's barely above dirty mop water swill. Come on.
Drug a bean through it and call it coffee. Yeah. So, okay. I get done with the whole ordeal of the black scary room. Come back out. I'm getting some coffee, man. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have some decaf. And so I get to there, and there's 2 robots. There's Robot A and Robot B. Now, Robot A offers espresso, cappuccino, that kind of stuff. Yeah, right? Now, cappuccinos are little, right? Aren't they? They come in the little cups.
Usually, yeah, they come in the little cups.
It's like distilled coffee. It's practically syrup.
Yeah, it's like concentrated coffee.
Right. You take a sip, your heart explodes out of your chest.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's espresso, which is, so I'm like, this is one of the few times I can get a double espresso latte decaf.
Death latte.
Yeah. So, this is awesome. So I go in there and I go to Coffee Robot and I give it the. At first, it says it's got a screen. It's a 2-screen experience.
Ooh.
Yes. And it says tap your card here. Well, now I've never been able to successfully use the chip tappy card thing ever, and it's got to be me.
You had trouble with the Wendy's app, so
right. It's we've established that I am part of the problem.
Right, you are the weakest link.
So I tap on the thing, and it says, "Here, thank you. Please tap again." I'm like, right, okay, I'll tap again, and then it says, "You're an idiot. Insert your card here." The little slot lights up. Like, it knows me.
It saw you coming.
Well, if I can't tap correctly twice, insert the card. Right. All right, moron.
Stick it in. All right, stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So I put the card in, and then the other screen lights up and says, "What kind of coffee would you like?" I'm like, "Well, I want a double espresso latte,
brown kind,
decaf." Right, and the coffee robot has the beans on the top. I'm sure you've seen them. They got them at truck stops too.
Yeah. No.
Where they grind the beans
not the Starbucks
for you.
Machines, but I've seen what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I look at them and go, "Yeah, never dealing with that."
Well, this intrigued me because it had espresso decaf beans so labeled in one of its crystal domes, and right. I'm excited, and so and it says, "Please," other screen lights up, "Please complete transaction." Like, okay, so I follow the directions, complete the transaction, and the thing lights up to begin your coffee or something like that. Click. It's like a big white bar across the bottom. Touch that, and then the thing starts like shaking and whirring. Like, hopefully it doesn't fall on the floor. I kind of back up a little bit. It's making some rather interesting sounds. I don't want to get sprayed with hot whatever.
The beans come flying out of the hopper at the top.
Right. I'm just
like maximum overdrive.
I put the cup down now. Oh, and it asked me, "Do you want the large or the grande?" I'm like, "Give me the grande, man. 50 cents more."
Okay, they're wrong in 3 languages. It's like large, grande, venti, or something like that.
Right. Whatever it is.
Grande, large, venti. I don't know. They're all wrong.
Give me the big one, okay?
I don't even think the grande is the big one. I think venti's the big one.
I don't know. It had a picture of it had a little cup and a big cup, and I chose the one that says big cup.
Oh, so they only gave you 2 options.
2 options. And then there were only 2 size cups in the rack next to robot to choose your cup.
In the robot rack.
Right. And you'd think robot would choose the cup for you, but as it turns out, it's a good thing it didn't. But put the cup down there and back up because there are some very, let's just say, I've heard cappuccino espresso machines before. And I've also heard vehicles and industrial machinery with really bad transmissions. It was somewhere in between.
Grind until you find it.
There was like, am I going to get coffee beans ground or ground up gears? Or maybe a mixture of both. I'm stepping back.
If your coffee comes out like motor oil, you know what happened.
With chunks in it after you've been to the drag strip.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna give it some space here. And right about that time, when it starts shaking and grinding and vibrating and doing whatever, the receptionist says, "You okay? Is that machine okay?" Like, I don't know. It's like, I always hate it when people use those machines because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, that's reassuring.
Cool. Exciting.
So all of a sudden it stops, and we watch the machine with great anticipation,
with bated breath, just like, is it going to be a baby? Well, what's going to come out of here?
And then there was maybe enough to fill a shot glass, maybe.
Cool.
And I'm looking at the bottom of the cup, and obviously my disappointment must have shown. Because she's like, "Oh, did you choose the cappuccino? Because that's only a little bit." I'm like, well, it was an espresso latte, but so I tasted a little bit. It's good. It wasn't like a super concentrated, whatever.
No, it's it's just slightly stronger coffee. Which getting a decaf
Almost $3 for a shot glass worth?
Yeah, that's Starbucks.
No. Because I've had that machine before. I've never had that little, Okay. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, I am not leaving here without a decaf. It's just not happening. So I go to Coffee Robot
pay
number
more
2.
money, damn it.
I will. I went to Coffee Robot number 2.
Oh.
Now, Coffee Robot number 2 only isn't as fancy as Coffee Robot number 1, right? But also has fancy decaf, right?
Oh.
So we go through the whole tap your card again. Insert card here, chucklehead. Okay.
Do you have a tap card?
I do. It's got the little things on it.
Okay. The little Wi-Fi symbol.
It's provided by one of the big four in credit cards. So anyhow, it knew I was tapping. It just didn't like how I was tapping. I don't know. I'm going to have to spend some time figure out how to do that eventually. But that day was not that day. If you know what I'm saying?
Yes, that day is not today.
And then it goes through. It says choose your coffee, and I chose the coffee, the decaf, and did all the large size cup again, and whatever. And okay, great. No, and then it said transaction timeout. Like, what do you mean transaction timeout?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I chose all the coffee. I chose all the options. I'm waiting for my coffee. How can it time out? And then it says tap here. I'm like, all right. So we start that again. Tap, tappy, tap. Insert card, idiot.
Tap. You're just basically slapping your card against the machine going, take my money.
That's right. So we start the whole authorization process again. We start the coffee selection process again. And then it says transaction timed out.
No.
Like, listen. I'm leaving with decaf if the whole machine comes with me. There will be decaf. So help me. So we start again, tapping the card. And the receptionist is looking on she picks up the phone and I can hear what she's saying. Now she's across the hall, but close enough.
We got another code 6.
That's exactly what she's doing. She's calling maintenance. We might have a situation that the coffee machine's out front.
An angry fat man in a wheelchair.
Walrus. We've got a walrus situation up front.
That's a real elephant seal situation about to happen here. We need to get somebody down here.
Neil the Seal is in the front lobby. Try to get coffee.
Oh, I got an update about Neil the Seal.
All right. Well, keep your powder dry there, pal.
Maybe
we've got one more time. I'm going to do it. Third time's a charm, right?
Possibly.
Right? Yeah. So go through the whole thing, choose the coffee, and then I noticed down in the bottom corner of the screen is a little green screen button, touch button that says begin coffee or selection or start coffee. I think it was what it was. Or no, it maybe just said start. So I'm like, start. Oh, I'll press start.
What does this button do?
Yeah, let's see what this does.
And then the coffee machine exploded.
Almost.
It's like the muffin was it the muffin?
It pressed start. The other machine sitting next to it just started spewing stuff out of the nozzles.
Cool.
It was probably the rest of my coffee. And it's just...
Did you at least have your coffee cup in place to catch it?
No, I had moved it over to the other. Like, God, come on. And then that one starts. So if I had the one if I had my coffee,
if you'd have moved it, you would have missed the other one.
I would have missed something. That's right. Should have had a double out. I should have just grabbed another cup from the rack and put a cup on each machine. But
just
all
in
that
case.
time, it wasn't even in my radar, and it should have been. It wasn't even in my thought process that machine A would suddenly start spewing stuff minutes later after it just gave me the little shot, right? But that's exactly what it did.
It just went. It took it a minute to had a progress bar loading coffee.
I think what happened is it got jealous. It got jealous of machine B. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna get coffee from him, are you? Well, here,
him to do it. Oh yeah, here's your coffee. Blah.
Yeah, wasn't gonna give it to you at all. But...
And then machine B finally went, oh, you wanted coffee, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then it filled the coffee cup.
Well, okay then. Well, I mean, at least you got the coffee, I suppose.
I did.
But
and
really...
I timidly tasted. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be the most expensive coffee in history.
It'll be the most terrible, expensive coffee I've ever had.
So I enjoyed the coffee because I didn't want to think about the bill. Drove all the way home. No problems, no worries, no ups, no extras. Got home, right? Next day, I'm like, you know what? I'll just check my statement, see what's going on. Didn't get any weird alerts, like, warning, you've been charged $300,000 for a cup of coffee. No, nothing like that. So I checked the app for my card, and here's all of these charge attempts, and they're $10 each. Because apparently it puts a $10 hold on and then settles out.
And then it settles out after you don't use it all.
So it's $10 for every tap. $10 hold.
I mean, they'll get released eventually.
Oh, great. So then I checked this, and I'm not going to call in yet because we'll see because it says it's still pending. So we'll see what happens. So I checked the app again the next day, and then for every $10 tap, there's a $10 credit.
Hey,
I'm like, okay. So then I'll check the app the next day, right? The balance for the coffee, it looked like it was zero. It was free.
Cool.
Apparently the robots had their fun. They figured because they got a mini ha-ha out of me, they would give me the free coffee. So Yahtzee. So that's the story of the coffee robots.
Oh, okay. Coffee. Well, I mean, it sounds like the coffee robots had it out to have some fun with you and then decided, you know what, we'll let them have this one.
Right. That's exactly what happened. They're like, sorry, we were just messing with you. This one's on us. Well, okay, thanks. Let's do it again real soon. Not. And it was nice. It was nice, refreshing. It was a really good tasting cup of coffee. That little bit of cappuccino in there with the other. Actually turned out to be a really nice mix. And I'm walking back to the van to, wheeling, right? And I'm wheeling. The funny thing is wheeling past the helipad, and there's the Life Flight helicopter there with the doors open. And it's like 100 million degrees out, and the pilot's there. He's got the doors open in the helicopter. I guess he's on call, and they have to be at the helicopter? I don't know. Anyway,
probably.
I thought
it's
about
the Life Flight copter.
Maybe he should have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Although he's going to fight with that machine, so maybe not. He might get an important call, and he's waiting for his coffee to come out.
He'll spew it at him as he walks away.
Right, and hit him in the back. Yeah. Right on my visor.
Yeah, that burns the flash. Which reminds me of my picking up a battery for the Dodge.
Oh yeah, the battery.
Yeah.
Was it for the? Oh, it was for the Daytona. Yeah, the Daytona.
Yeah. So I go to get a battery. That battery's had a long and storied history. And finally, it got.
Yeah.
I have the unique ability to sulfate even an AGM battery. I'm just gifted in that area, and so that's why I always bought those Ultima batteries for all the mission.
The red tops,
or the yellow top, or the blue top. The van, my van's got blue top for the house battery now.
Well, yeah, because it's the Marine Deep Cycle battery.
Yeah, runs the wheelchair lift.
For when you need to run a real wheelchair lift or interrogate a foreign spy. Either way, get a good Marine Deep Cycle.
I figure it's covered. And for my birthday, I got a flux capacitor. I'm gonna hook that up to the lift. So I activate the lift, the flux capacitor. Yeah, just go with the whole spaceship delivery van thing.
Right.
Anyhow, that doesn't matter. Anyway, I had bought a nice Duralast Gold AGM battery, right? Because I got tired of dealing with But alas, and the thing didn't sulfate sitting; it sulfated while the car's being driven.
Cool,
which is just my luck. You would think driving it around, actually putting a charge in from the alternator would keep the battery happy. No.
Well, that battery only knows two states, either charged or not charged. It's never experienced anything in between.
I think it's charged or angry. I think those are its two states.
Right. On a charger or dead are its two states. So
yeah. So I was going to move it again, and I figured, it's not in its normal stall, so I don't have the little float charger on it. I got my big booster analyzer super whamidine charger on it, and I hook it up, turn it on, and it does this, reads the battery voltage at 12.7, which is pretty good. And then it says SUL, which you might as well say SOL.
But I remember that. I was there helping you try to hook that thing up, and it kept saying SUL. And we're like, what does that mean?
Sulfated.
Oh, is that what that means?
That's what that means. And so
Which
I could have taken out
cooked.
Well, yeah, they got sulfides on the plates, and Now I could take out my aircraft charger and try to rejuvenate the battery.
It just burn all the sulfates off.
Yeah. So you can either rejuvenate it or it'll explode. You know, it was one
either
of the
way.
two.
I mean, it sounds like fun. It sounds like fun either way. Honestly, you either get a usable battery or a really cool show when it puts a hole in your roof.
I would put it out where the meth heads creep through at 3 a.m. So maybe, just maybe.
Here's a picture of a battery. Just reaching for the battery as it explodes in their face.
That wouldn't be cool. I was just thinking about give him a little fright, but.
I mean, if those things cook off, you're going to give the neighborhood a fright. It's going to sound like an atomic bomb was detonated in your front yard.
Drake's up to something again. Must be getting ready for Labor Day.
Setting off fireworks again.
Oh, so I scoop up my beleaguered battery and I put it in my van. I load up the wheelchair.
Van?
No, the van's okay. It's the beleaguered battery. And I drive it over to AutoZone and I bring it in. And it doesn't have. Remember, I used to have batteries had a thing they scratch off to let you know what year and date that you purchased it, right?
Yeah.
That way you could calculate the warranty.
Little sticker on there.
Right, because the gold batteries have the same warranty as the Ultimas, 3 years on prorated. You can just walk in if it's 3 years old or less. Here you go. Okay, here's your new one. Got to go. Right. So I just got there, wheeled in with the battery, thumped it up on the counter, and this says in warranty by any chance. Is it? He scans it and starts laughing. This battery's from 2015. Like, okay, sorry.
Well, just had to ask.
Like, come on, there's no date on the thing. It's clean because it's basically sitting in a car that spends a lot of time just in storage. So anyway, it's like, well, yeah, you want another one? I'm like, I don't think I want to spend $300, right? It's $279 for a new one, right? And I would like, and this is where it's like, what car is it for and whatever. Well, it's a BCI Group 34 BL. It's right there on the battery. That's what I need. Like, what car? So.
Oh, you got the car question. It's a battery. There's the battery. Give me the same battery.
No, I don't want the same battery. It's a size group BC, 34. And so I went over to the battery rack and I'm looking at the battery racks. Well, clearly this guy wants to sell me another Duralast Gold battery. I don't know if those countermen work on commission now or not or what.
No idea.
Or they're trying to hit a sales goal. And I just said, well, listen, here's the deal. This car is in storage all the time. It has seasonal plates on it that I only take it out for shows and funsies and whatever. So it doesn't even know what rain is at this point. And so I just don't. All I do is sulfate the batteries. So it's it. And it's not the only vehicle that got sulfated batteries with. So
no, I'm pretty sure my black car's also got a sulfated battery, but that's neither here nor there at this point.
Yeah, and of course I got other cars, in the storage barn and vehicles.
We got so many cars.
Oh yeah, and the front end, we got the front end loader. That I'm sure all of a sudden that battery stopped taking a charge, so I'm pretty sure that's been sulfated.
Oh no, good.
The big diesel mower, all of a sudden that's not taking a charge. I'm sure that one's been sulfated. But of course, all these vehicles, plus we got pickup truck, we got the old 49, we got all kinds of stuff.
Got the 59
It's a constant battle to keep ahead of the batteries and to keep the battery tenders on all of them all the time.
Right.
Especially since I can't get around.
There's some poor person in Thailand going, I'd kill for a car right now.
Right. Yeah. Well, first world problems versus third world,
Is Thailand? Whatever. Anyway.
But so I go over to the battery rack.
About the car.
Yeah, he's asking about the car. And I'm like, well, it's a BCI Group 34 BL. So it's got if your battery's facing you, the positive terminal is on the right. And I go over to the battery rack and I'm just looking at the batteries. Right. I was, we don't have the value craft in that one. Okay. So I'm looking at the batteries like, well, are you just going to get the gold one? I'm like, and his countenance and his attitude is starting to get kind of icky. Now,
right.
I never ever play the old man in a wheelchair card. Ever. No, I don't. It's just I'm not that way. I'm not gonna do it. But doesn't mean I'm not going to think it. Okay? Clearly old man, clearly wheelchair, hard to miss. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm wheeling up and down looking at the batteries. I'm looking at all the BCI Group 34 options I've got and looking at prices. So guys get, you're not going to find what you need. We ain't got nothing cheap. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Who said I want anything cheap?
I did. That's exactly what I told them. I said, I need to save some funds because all I do with batteries is kill them. So am I going to kill an expensive battery just out of warranty or am I going a cheap one just out of warranty? Either way, it's going to be dead and just out of warranty. That's just... Yeah. That's a good point. Right? So might as well just get the cheapo. And he was right. The Group 34, the cheap one for $99 was that whole rack was missing. Right? But next to it is a Group 24. Right? Now, Group 24 and a Group 34, 24 is got 100 cold cramping amp. No, cramping? The cramps.
The cramps.
It's got 100 cold crank amps less. It's like a 500 instead of a 600. It's physically a little smaller, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of the 24 is kind of that universal size that could fit in anything.
Yeah.
And consequently, they're cheap because they can fit in
any
anything.
Small car. Yeah, any kind of small car. Well, yeah, anything.
It's got the side terminals. It's got the top terminals. It doesn't stand proud. It's no taller than a Group 34. And narrower. Right. It'll fit in just about everywhere as long as your cables will reach it. And so that one's $79, and they got a whole rack of them. I'm like, that's my battery. Then it's got a go handle. So perfect, right?
Right.
Especially because I'm clearly going to be carrying it out myself. So I go up, thump that one on the counter, and we haven't still done. What car is this for? So he just barks at me. What's the phone number for the warranty? So I give him the phone number of the warranty. Like, not that it's going to matter, because when that battery's dead, it's going to be out of warranty. Just out of warranty.
About 10 years from now, like the other one.
Right. It's like, how you paying for it? I'm like, good grief, this has gotten hostile, and I haven't done anything. Why so hostile?
And intolerant.
Almost. It's borderline criminal, And there's now another walrus wanders in, and he's waiting, and he was very kind. He was very kind. Let me back to the counter and throw my battery up there to have my card charged and thrown back at me. It was a very unusual experience. I had never seen this counter man before. I usually know all the guys over there.
You're at our usual.
Yeah.
Our usual stop.
I'm a staple.
Not you go to one of the other competitors.
I'm a regular. Yeah, I'm a frequent flyer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we got a commercial account, for crying out loud. We do so much work. Maybe that's what he didn't like, because commercial account, you get big discounts on batteries.
You get big discounts on a lot of things.
Yeah, but batteries are it's huge.
Yeah.
We fired up the commercial account, and that didn't help. Is this the store manager? Is he trying to hit some sales goal? Because there's no way to do it.
No, you're not gonna breed return customers with that attitude.
Yeah, because there's another AutoZone that if I go the other direction instead of going to this one, I go the other direction. Okay. Yeah, it's almost as close. So I could just go there instead of going to that one. So whatever. I don't know. It was really weird. I had to go. I had to go outside for a minute, look around, am I in a Twilight Zone episode or what's going on? So I took my battery, I took my stinking receipt, and I left. Gracious! You know what? It just hit me. It just hit me now.
What?
Just now.
What?
He's probably one of those people that works at Jack in the Box too.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah. That explains it.
He's got a real Jack in the Box attitude.
Yeah.
Actually, he's gone one step. He's gone one step further than Jack in the Box attitude. Because Jack in the Box is just just done, but not aggressive. He's taken it to the next step. He's like that lady in the McDonald's in Colorado I had to deal with.
Surly?
Beyond petty. Yeah, just surly and petty for no reason. You give them one kind of offhand comment because they're annoying you or whatever, and the next thing you know, you're getting pettied to death. And it's really? That's what we're doing today?
Oh, right. Yeah, the one that kept calling out your order number.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. I've worked in fast food. I've worked in retail. I've done all of that almost all my life. I mean, other than up until the last couple jobs where I worked at a factory and now I'm a truck driver. I've had to deal with the public pretty much all my career, all my working life. And boy, people say some wild stuff to you. They say some mean stuff to you, and you just have to grin and bear it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, there have been times when I've been a little off the chain myself, and I try to really mellow with age. And sometimes it's difficult.
I try, and I think that day I was just my ire was already a little up, and when my order number gets called, and I acknowledge that my order number has been called, and then someone who's not involved in that process then needs to involve themselves in that process for no reason. It just I may have been like, oh yeah, I may have said it in a tone or something. I don't know. But anyway.
Had a tone. Yeah.
I had a tone.
But on the opposite of that, the woman at the lab at the hospital, young lady there that was the phlebotomist.
The phlebotomist.
Yeah.
Big words today.
Draws the blood,
Is that your $3 word for the day?
Well, I've used a couple of $2 words, so why don't we make it, double down, go to a 3. I guess that's not double, but 50% more. Unlike my cappuccino.
Yeah.
Anyway, really nice, really professional, and it was funny. She, I asked her, I said, "Did you used to work at a veterinary clinic?" And she looked very concerned. Why? That's because you encouraged me to tell you a life story, something that just a story I enjoy telling. And all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, okay, well we're done." I'm like, what? Wait, what? All the vials? You drew all the vials and did all the things? And she's like, yeah, You're ready to go. I'm like, I didn't even see anything, feel a thing. What? It's not right. It's not right. Didn't get to finish my story either. So then,
can you at least stick around and pretend you were doing something to let me finish my story?
We had a good laugh. I had a good laugh. She had a good laugh. The guy who was picking up all the biohazard waste had a good laugh. The computer next to the chair had a good laugh. And,
right. We shot the computer because of Decepticons, and away we went.
Yeah, because you never know. And that was interesting. So not everybody out there is a curmudgeon. So
no. Just that lady in Colorado just happened to be a very weirdly curmudgeonly day for her.
Boy, it is so hard not to be off-put with someone who's off-putting. And what are you off-putting? Negative waves, man.
More negative waves. Have a little faith, baby.
Well, to counteract the negative vibes that I guess would be cosmic punishment for my possible crappy attitude with that lady, I did bash my head earlier in my truck.
For
listeners out there. Well, yeah, I do. I was going to say for listeners out there, I do have a long history of hitting my head on things. I am quite tall, and I have bashed my head into many a door frame and low ceiling.
It is the bane of the existence of a Sasquatch living in modern society.
Truly.
And so you are one of the few people who can fall up the stairs.
Yes, I have fallen going upstairs many times, usually because the stairs are too narrow and my feet are too big.
That's kind of a family trait, though.
You're
not the only one.
So I got my company was gracious enough to give me a brand new truck. It's not only a new model year, it is also a new type of truck that I've never driven before. It's a Volvo. I think we've talked
is that
about
a Turbine Suburban?
Episode. This would be a Turbine Suburban. Yes, I have a black Turbine Suburban. So I'm not part of the white Volvo mafia. I'm in a different mafia, and I don't want to talk about it.
I know what you're getting headwear for Christmas, my friend.
As long as it'll cover the skylight, I'm good. But so the main difference in this truck is there's a lot more cabinets in this truck.
Can you learn how to speak like a Sikh? Because it'll complement your headwear.
As long as that headwear is also a hard hat. If you can find me one of those that's a hard hat, I'll wear it. Unironically.
Deal. So all you listeners out there, if you can find a turban hard hat, I'm in the market.
I know they make a cowboy hat one. So,
it'll go perfect with the Croots I'm getting you.
The listeners going to know what Croots are? Because I don't.
Croc boots. Cowboy boots on top, Crocs on the bottom.
Oh yeah, if you can get me a pair of those in a men's 13, I will wear those everywhere. I'll even tuck my pants into them.
I can't wait to go to Boot City and ask for them.
You can't get them. They were. I tried to get a pair because I actually unironically wanted a pair. They were a limited time run thing. They made so many pairs, and that was it.
But I fully intend to get some Seconds cowboy boots and some Crocs and make the marriage myself. Make the marriage for you myself.
Well, get ones with a nice wide top part so I can get my fat legs in there.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so this truck has cabinets that are above my head that my other truck did not have. And so I was reaching for something up above my head that was like on the other side of the truck, and I stood up very quickly and proceeded to bash my head, the back of my head, into the bottom of my cabinet so hard I popped my neck. Like I actually heard my neck go. I was like, I was expecting to just go limp like a fish and just lay on the floor of my truck going, well, I guess this is how I die.
Fortunately, the truck was not in motion at the time.
Well, no, it's just like, I break my neck. I paralyzed from the neck down. I can't even dial a phone number.
Right.
My dispatch is calling me because I haven't picked up the load yet. Maestro's not answering his phone. What's going on? And just, they ping the truck, and I've been sitting in the same location dead for like a week.
And no one will notice the smell at a truck stop.
No, not at a truck stop. I got out of this truck stop, and I was overcome by the breeze over a landfill mixed with porta potties.
Yeah, that sounds it's wonderful. Pretty standard. Yeah.
It's quite a evocative aroma, mostly to hidden folks' anger.
Yeah. And people wonder why you can't park trucks at Buc-ee's.
I don't wonder. We know.
Okay. So there are those people.
Oh, truly.
Like because sometimes you see those where they have the driver facing camera, right? And it shows what the driver was doing moments before the crash. Like the one guy reached around in his bunk and falls out of the driver's seat.
Yeah, he's driving in Europe and he's got the short cab. He's got the cab over where the bed's right behind the seat.
I don't know what he's reaching around for. He's
like reaching for a bag or something. Yeah,
it's a bag of donuts or whatever. And
right.
He falls out of the seat, and all of a sudden, run away. We gotta run away.
Holds on to the steering wheel as he's going over, thereby pulling the truck into the ditch.
Yes. Yeah, you'd been better. Just okay. I'm on the floor. Ghost ride the whip. Let go of everything, and then jump back in that seat and see if you can fix whatever has gone wrong in those few seconds. Hanging on the wheel, not a good idea. Yeah.
One of my co-drivers and I, when I first started driving, did hot swap seats in traffic in Austin. We were doing about a mile an hour, and
that was like Trucker Olympics, right?
Right. Well, it was like getting on the back of the bobsled. Basically, the trucks.
Maybe that's what was going on in that grain truck. It was going so slow. Going so slow. You drive. I don't want to drive. You drive. No, I don't want to drive. You drive. Yeah.
We were going really slow, and I needed to use the little trucker's room. And there was obviously nowhere for us to pull. I don't know if you've been down I-35 in Austin, Texas. There's an upper and a lower I-35. We were on upper I-35, so there's no exits. You can't pull over. There's no shoulder. You're on a bridge, basically. And so I needed to use the restroom very badly, and I figured that my co-driver would not appreciate it if I wet myself in the driver's seat. So I woke him up out of the sleeper, and I said, I'm going to pee in this, empty cup, basically, just to take care of the problem, and then we'll dispose of that later. And
on the side of the road like everybody else. What's that, Daddy?
I'll just throw it out of the VW Bug with its sunroof down. Just make sure I make it in the sunroof. But anyway, I said, he's like, well, what do you want me to do about it? I'm like, you're going to sit in the passenger seat. I'm going to get up out of the driver's seat. You're going to slide over into the from the passenger seat into the driver's seat. I'm going to do my business. And then when I'm done, I will sit in the passenger seat and we'll do it all in reverse. So that's what we did.
Is that so you could keep the electronic logs running? Is that the deal?
Well, it was because we were in traffic. We weren't really moving.
Oh, I see, in traffic. Well, if you're in traffic, just open the door and let it fly, man. Why should you be different?
Decency. Well, I was telling you get a public indecency charge.
Funnel and some tubing take care of that problem.
Right. But I mean, we were basically.
Tell me you haven't
moving.
seen that in a few trucks. I've seen it.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard stories.
Tube that goes through the floor in a funnel.
I've heard some stories. We won't repeat what I've heard here because what I've heard was much more graphic and less appealing than a tube and a funnel.
Yeah, we'll just go with tube and funnel.
Listeners, you could use your imagination on that one.
No, don't use. You won't be able to see it. Just move along.
If you want to, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you really want to, you can figure it out.
We're just prolonging this at this point.
Yeah, well, padding for time or something.
I think we're getting up on time here.
Well, yeah, we're definitely up on something. But that's what I did. When you're desperate for the bathroom, that's sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
There are those times. And with that, we want to thank everyone for tuning in to another Drake and the Maestro, almost live.
Almost relevant.
Don't forget to visit. Oh yeah, well, it's almost something.
Almost live.
Yeah, the live thing is
almost listenable, almost audible.
Yeah, it's almost a lot of things.
Yeah,
it's almost a podcast.
Funny. Yeah, almost funny. Almost humorous.
And it's brought to you by 1-800-SLOPE-ME.
Slope Me.
Are you afraid of a 3-letter agency invading your cartilage? Or would you just like some peace of mind at night? Well, get sloped at 1-800-SLOPE-ME. Our slopes are ADA approved for access to your domicile while still keeping those pesky agencies guessing. Act now and we'll throw in a free Tannerite stuffed dog. So get sloped at 1-800-SLOPE-ME, and we'll get you sloped in no time. And don't forget to ask about our limited time slippery slope offer. That's right, turn your slope into a slippery slope with our new motion sensitive mister system. Guaranteed to keep those pesky agencies at bay. That's 1-800-SLOPE-ME.
Did you like the new Slope Me copy ad?
Slope Me copy was pretty good. Yeah, you did better that time. Better than when you tried to do it live in the podcast and stumbled your way through it.
Well, that's how I do it. Then I have to just go back and read through the copy a bunch of times. And then I like the new option they're adding with the slippery slope.
Yeah, the slippery slope. That's great. No, you got to have the slippery slope.
We've heard so much about these in news, and now we know what they mean. No, don't go there. That's a slippery slope. Now we know what they're talking about. Slopes. You thought it was a slippery slope of ideas, but no, it's a real slippery slope. Mm-hmm. And that's a place where feds can't go.
Yeah.
Yep. Now we know.
Now
we must go. Thanks for tuning in once again, and adios.
Adios.
Arrivederci. Hasta la vista.
Adios.
Adios, muchachos, compañeros. Will you get out of here?